I know what you're thinking. Is that sunshine? Yes, it is. Welcome to sunny Dublin for once. Although I'm making the most of it today because I don't think it's the last. And I am drinking out of a Christmas mug. This week, because I knew there was one sunshine emoji on the weather app, I decided to tackle the seating corner because you know, cans in the garden season is upon us. For winter, this was just getting a bit of a dumping ground. I'm going to get actually straight into that footage where I show you what this was looking like, and then I'll show you kind of what it's looking like now. It's nice and tidy, cut back some of the bits, and last night I spent like an hour just sitting chilling, and like I didn't even have my phone, I was just listening, like watching the birds and all, just relaxing. Nice little spot. So this is my little seating area. I did a good bit of work last year on this little section, but I need to tidy it up. As you can see, it's kind of like a winter dumping ground. We have watering cans, pots, trip hazards, random bottles of feed, stones, pots. Sorry about the wind. I have just some dead cosmos and stuff, and it just needs a good tidy. It's not dreadful. I also want to repaint the chairs because the stain that I used last year was not really good. Maybe I didn't give it enough coats, but as you can see, it's kind of gone a bit yellowy in places. So I want to just give these, I think, a bit of colour. The white is nice, but I think I want to do something green. Also, this is full of weeds too, and you wonder where my gardening gloves go. Guarantee there is some spiders in here. So I just have weeds, mint. There is some sage, which I'm actually going to keep and cut back, but I do have some lettuce that I think I am going to pop in here, and there's loads of grass and stuff, so I think I'm going to just leave the sage, take out some of the mint and do some lettuce maybe. And I just need to tidy up these pots as well. Yeah, there's just like random stuff, so I need to just get this nice and tidy. And then I have some solar lights that I'm going to add here, and then I think my parasol thingy, I do have some lights as well. So I just need to get in and give this a good tidy and organising. I think I'm going to start by just taking the chairs out, giving them a paint, and I can think while I'm painting of my next move. I just need to tidy up all of the pots as well. I got some of these to add like a little bit of colour. Yeah, that's how it's looking. Not dreadful. This is a great spot when the sun comes out because you kind of just face out onto the garden and you can just like see everything. So I love this spot. Firstly, before I show you anything, those tulips have erupted. I'm so excited. I love how lovely long stems. They just look like a mini Amsterdam tulip field, don't they? These are giving me joy. I can't wait for the rest of these to have a bit of colour and open. And I'm pleasantly surprised because these have a lovely pink like hue off them, and when I was planting them I thought they were going to be red, like vibrant red, so I'm actually pleasantly surprised because I much prefer the kind of pinky tone. And then you've got the white ones over there, they came up a bit earlier, so they're kind of starting to die. But I did see a lovely big bumblebee knocking around, but I've definitely seen loads of pollinators going in and out of the tulips, so that's nice to see. Also forgot that I have giant alliums. Do you remember them last year? And they're starting to come up now. I was chatting to Karen this morning and she said that she had a blossom on her apple tree, and there looks like I have little buds in this one. I hope you can see. There's definitely, oh, this is actually exciting because I didn't check in on my apple tree. Loads of buds on this one, so I don't know if I maybe need to move. Oh, my poor neighbour has a cough. If you can hear that, I hope he's okay. I don't know if I maybe need to move this so it gets maybe more sun. It is getting some morning sun. Mr. Robin, can we see him? Oh, he flew away. I also forgot about these tulips. These are the ones that have like the little spiky... Oh, did you just hear my belly rumble? Apologies if anyone heard that. Brunner is looking absolutely fantastic. So they've all kind of opened. Oh, did I stand on a snail? No. So I'm very distracted today. So they're nice. They've kind of bushed out into a nice clump. There is 3 plants there. And I have just noticed this guy has opened. So much happens in a week. Even in the morning I potter and I like see something new. I love this time of year. The crocus have finished flowering, but I like how there's like a bit of the foliage that's left. It's looking a bit wild flowery, and I just mowed the grass around it. Oh, there is Mr. Blackbird. He's actually quite friendly. When I was sitting here last night, he was just having a little hop around. I'll see if I can zoom in. I think him and his friend might be making a nest. Getting great longevity out of these daffodils as well. I really like them, so I think I'm going to take a note of that and do some more next year. I noticed that you don't really get long out of the blossoms on the magnolia. Now it could be because it's a young tree, but I think there's a couple still to open, but some of the buds kind of just open into leaves and not blossoms. But definitely brightens up this border, and I like the height that it has as well. You know what, when I stand here and I just look, it just gives my heart joy. I'm like, you know what, it was worth it digging. I think there's like 80 bulbs in there, but it was so worth it. So here's my little seating nook. Gets a nice amount of sunshine. Added some twinkly lights to my parasol. Repainted the chairs. They are looking fresh. Some pots. Deadheaded some of the bits that was already here. I kind of like the pop of colour, the contrast against the pink fence. I also just moved out the olive tree because it was getting a bit, I felt like it needed some air, so I just brought it out a tiny bit from the fence so the foliage could just, yeah, get a bit more air, do its thing. I didn't mulch it, but there was some weeds at the base, and I actually mulched it last year with stones on the top. But yeah, I just took the weeds out, and then I'm kind of using the pot to hide my little garden bits. And then this weedy veg bed was kind of full of like random mint, weeds, grass. I cut back the sage, but there is still sage here. You can see it's all cut back. And then I just put lettuce plugs in, and there's already a little bit of growth. So here is all of the lettuce. And now for seedling updates. So last week I pinched out the sweet peas, and I put the tips of the ones I pinched out in some water to see if they would propagate. Now, I don't think it's been a full week. Not much happening yet. But the thing is, you can leave things for... Actually, right, here's one. Hope it doesn't disrupt. Ah, Jesus, it is. No. Oh, hang on. Is that little rue? If my camera will zoom, or is that just... I don't know. Maybe something's happening. We'll put them back in for another week and see. Now I need to make sure all of the tips are back in. Cosmos are absolutely flying. Some of them are getting quite tall, so I reckon soon enough these will be able to kind of go outside. I'm just hanging on till kind of the end of April, just in case there is any last minute frosty bits. But we can always do another batch. Teasels looking well. I do have a rogue seed. I think this might be a weed. Remember, hands up who was here last year. Oh, sorry, I'm just checking my soil, making sure it's not dry. When I grew a nettle, it just snuck in and I thought it was a plant. Well, it is a plant, but I wasn't meant to grow a nettle. So I don't think it is a teasel, because if you look at the teasel seedlings, they have little bumps. So you can see kind of the bumps on them there. Sure, look, I'll leave it and we'll see what grows, but I think it might be a weed. It might have already been in the soil. So yeah, lots of growth on the good old teasels. The wild birds will absolutely love these when they grow. I wonder will I actually get like a tall established plant this year, but we will see. And then these sweet peas, so the little ones are still little, but definitely there is some growth on them. And then these lads, I reckon these will be able to go outside soon as well. I need to start thinking of a home for them. Also, free planting plans. I am going to pop in an ad disclaimer here, even though this video is not sponsored by Bloom, but I am doing work with them this weekend on my Instagram, so I'm just going to put ad just to declare my relationship with them. I worked with them last year for Bloom, and I was sharing, they have an initiative, it's Easy Steps to Dream Gardens, and there's basically free planting plans, and there's 7 to choose from, but this year the coastal garden is going to be at Bloom if you want to see it. Last year was the nature enthusiast garden, and I can't remember the other one, but basically I know you guys like a good old planting plan. Now these planting plans, how many times have I said that in the last 2 seconds, are obviously designed for like my growing zone, but I'm sure you could take the idea and the plant list and adjust it for yourself. So like Ireland, UK growing zone. But the great thing is, I'll just give you the link. You don't even have to input your email. You can just go and check them out. The planting lists do have, so here's my little tip, the planting plans, so you'll have the little map and it'll tell you where you can put things, and you don't have to copy them as is. You can just be like, right, I like that little growing zone, I have a windy patch or I have a shady patch. You can just copy that section. If you see the Latin names for the plants and you're like, oh my god, I just googled the name and I just screenshot what it looks like, because I am visual. So then when I go to the garden centre, or if I'm buying seed to grow it, at least I'm like, okay, eryngium, sea holly, I have a picture of it, blue on the tips. This time of year, when you buy perennials, they'll be quite small. But if you're buying them later in the year, at least you kind of know what they look like, because I'm definitely a visual plant shopper. I don't plant by the Latin name. So that's my little tip if you're ever unsure. Screenshot them, then you go into your camera roll and you have the plants that you want. So I just thought I would share that with you. I did make a cute little reel with my April garden jobs that will be on Instagram. Yeah, if you are going to Bloom, which is the June bank holiday weekend, the Easy Steps to Dream Gardens, the coastal garden will be on display. I'll see you there. I think normally when I go to Bloom, I go on the Thursday and I go in the morning, first thing, so I can actually see the gardens, because it does get busy. Although this has been my plan. Go first thing, see the gardens, then go to the food section and get yourself a lovely lunch, because the food section does be good. And also anyone can download the free planting plans as far as I know. So if you are somewhere else in the world, I still think you can log on, have a little look and download them. Again, you don't need an email or anything like that, you can just see them. So now I'm gonna pot up Mr. Blackbird. I'm gonna pot up the dahlia tree I bought back in February. Remember I bought these? So I saw Monty John had a job for the weekend 2 weeks ago about potting up your dahlias. The other ones are in pots, and I took the risk of mulching my dahlias and leaving them in a raised bed. No signs of them growing just yet, but it is early. Please come back. I hope the frost did not kill you. I mulched them well. But anyway, I'm gonna pot these bad boys up, put them in the greenhouse. I did see, I thought I saw, yeah, look, bit of growth in there. He's starting to come alive. So I'm going to put these just in little recycled pots that I have to get them going. And then maybe May time I'll pop them out, but these grow really big. So there is a picture of a Dahlia imperialis. Imperialis. There you go. And I got 2 of them. I got these in the orchard. Did I? Or was it Johnstown? I don't know. You'll have to look back in an old video. It's either the orchard or Johnstown. I got these ones in. Something else I want to do. Karen gave me an Achillea, terracotta Achillea. It's a division from her border. And I have it in a pot over here. She gave me this big clump, but I think there's like 2 plants in here. Like that's one big one. I think I'm gonna chop it in 2 and stick it in. She also gave me a bit of grass. Thanks, Karen. I'll pull out these bits of grass. Don't want to put them in the border. But yeah, a good clump. So I think I'm gonna stick it in the front where I have a gap. And then hopefully, I think there's a bit of rain tomorrow as well, so it can settle. I'm just trying to get... That little blackbird is like... Can you see him? Hang on. Sorry, I'm one-handed. See him? He's been my little pal the past like 2 days as I've been doing bits in the garden. And it's normally the robins. Hang on. That's the last bit of grass. I don't want to pull a clump of the Achillea out, but I don't want to put... See, this grass has been a nightmare to get out of border. Right, I think we're good to go. Also, someone is still chomping on my GM, but look at all the new growth on top. I think there's some flower buds on that, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I think this is orange, which is why I wanted some of Karen's terracotta Achillea, because this has like a bit of orange. Then you've got terracotta Achillea. I have another GM here that my neighbour gave me, and just where that little Buddha is, there is 2 knifoffias. I think they're called red hot pokers. So come kind of like summertime, coming into late summer, there'll be a nice orange yellow, and there is some Rebecca in here, but the Rebecca is years old and I think there's something wrong with it. I think some of it reseeded, but the really old stuff doesn't flower as well. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should plant some seed and put some new ones in. I'll also have loads of zinnia and cosmos in here as well. So that will give me a nice punch of colour, but happy to see it has come back, even if the old foliage is having a little munch. Oh, wet tea on the hand. See, I do spill it sometimes. First of all, happy Easter. I'm filming this on Good Friday for reference, and once I go and edit this video with some tea, I am then going to sit for the evening in the sunshine. Well, it's actually gone a bit chilly and the sun looks like it has gone in. Typical Irish April weather. Hopefully it comes back, or I'll just put a big jumper on. It's so nice to actually be coming up to sitting in the garden season. Sitting in the garden season, that should be a phrase. Anyway, if you're watching this on Easter Sunday, happy Easter. I hope you have a nice day. I feel like it's kind of a weekend. It's like the beginning of the garden season. Like I saw loads of people going into the garden centre today, more so than usual, and I was like, yes, those people are probably getting out to the garden for the first time, so it was nice to see. It's like the beginning of something. On that note, I will leave the link for the playlist to the other garden videos, and I'll also pin a link if you want to check out the garden plants. If you get any inspiration, let me know. Hope they're useful, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.